What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, gentlemen, how are you doing?
Yo,
Yo, yo,
yo.
yo.
It is us. Y'all know what it is. It's back. The podcast about nothing. You got my man Rome the chef on. How's it going, Rome?
Yo, how you
Good.
feeling
All right.
tonight?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. I got my man Shooter on. Shooter, what's doing? What's doing?
Boom, boom, shots fired, man. Back in, I was out of commission last week, holiday weekend, and we was kicking it a little bit. And I didn't want to get on here too inebriated and say some shit I shouldn't say. So
Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. My man C Mello was good. People's champ. How's it going?
What's happening? Back for another Sunday. Let's enjoy ourselves and let's have a good segment, y'all.
Oh, definitely, definitely. So, it's been a week. It's as always, we have a lot of fun things to kind of touch on. So, I know today we're gonna play around with a couple of items, and I want to kick it off with the Danny Masterson situation. So, for those people who aren't aware, Danny Masterson was charged with grape. We're not going to say the actual word. We're going to say grape and assault for as his time with that 70 show. Apparently there was some women that he had some interactions with at his place that became very questionable. So he has been charged and sentenced to 30 years to life.
damn.
Um, 30 years to life. So I mean, I want to get you guys' thoughts on that. Now remember, we won't say the words grape.
Great.
Instead of anything, grape Kool-Aid. So I'm gonna pass it to you. Shoot first.
Listen. I mean, it depends on how deep you want to go into it. Of course, whatever it paused. I mean, whatever he did, he did. But where I'm getting into, where I'm trying to see what the story is where Scientology ties in. I don't know how
It
you
was
guys
part of it.
have you guys saw that part of it where he was
Mhm.
supposedly raping multiple women, and they in Scientology, I guess there's a rule that you can't report a crime. You report it to the Church of Scientology, and they take care of it. So this man was getting away allegedly with doing this over years and years of time, and they would make these women feel like they were the victim. But I mean, that's where I want to go with it. But I'll let you guys speak on if you want to speak on anything else about it, as far as not just the crime, or because there's other things about it. So I'll shoot it to somebody else for a minute. But the Scientology thing is where I want to go.
All right, we can come back to the Scientology piece of it. So, C Mello, I want to hear what your thoughts on
It's crazy how long it went before he got caught up. Got caught up with the trial and everything. And then when you was telling me that it was thrown out because of a hung jury, like
it.
that's that's crazy. And then another thing, why would you make it like remember at that point at the height of his career, him and his brother. I'm saying his brother had something to do with it, but him and his brother was both Hollywood bound, you know what I mean? Like Hollywood was really gonna look at him and why would you make a move like that? Like that's what the part that don't got me like this cat is stupid.
Not only
Yeah.
stupid, he's sick. Grape is
Yeah,
you gotta be a sick individual to do that to someone.
Yeah,
Like, what's wrong with you?
Mhm.
yeah.
yeah, I agree. All right, so what's your thoughts?
Yo, yeah. Like it's more of a like okay, so like a lot of people will say like, oh, he had money. Why didn't he just pay for it? It's not that he just wanted it. Grape is control.
Mhm.
That's the part that they want. They want the control of it all. So yeah, it definitely is a mental illness. It's a sickness. Like not justifying it at all, but yeah, like dude got some problems.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. Hey, shout out to CL. What's up? How you doing? I'm at my house, and to Jermaine, yes, that's right. That is an excellent point, and we're gonna double back to that point that Shooter made about it being tied to the Scientology aspect. Yes, there was a correlation between all of the victims and him being Scientologists, and you're right that there's a practice that didn't allow for them to be able to like go outside of the church, if they had grievances. So like I do think that it's telling that it took so long for the situation. Because when you think about it, that '70s show has been off the air for a while, right?
Yeah,
Like, and
about 15, 20 years, I'll say.
yeah, like exactly, like it's been some time, but it's very telling that he was able to hide behind a religious infrastructure, and it took this long for him to actually get caught. So, shooter, I'm gonna come back to you to hear more of your thoughts on, the Scientology aspect of
Well, Leah Remini. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right. The wife from the King of Queens, right?
Leah
She
Remy.
is she is a big staunch non-supporter of Scientology. Even though she had been part of the church for a long time, they've kind of disowned her and
Hmm.
they call her to try and say she's that shit. But she has also said these things have been going on forever. That
Mm-hmm.
Scientology treats their celebrities as untouchable. That's
Yeah.
kind of why you see the Tom Cruises, the Christy
Yeah.
Alley, they're so they love it so much because they can do what they want with a cloak of just I can do whatever. It's kind of I hate to say it like the Catholic priest, like they do what they want and then they make the victims feel like they were the ones who were the problem. What I
Right.
had
Mm-hmm.
read a story, which kind of just fucked me up, that Scientology is a brainwashing thing. That one of the victims, she had been assaulted by Hyde, by Mr. Masterson, reported
That's
it
high.
reported it to the church, and well, I'm not even going to call it a church, the institution, because
Yeah.
we're not even
The
going
cult. Let's call it what
to.
it is, a cult.
I'm not going to do that, but the institution, and then they made her feel that it was her fault that happened. Now, mind you, Mr. Masterson is married, so
Yep.
he committed adultery, but they made her feel bad that she had did it, and she kind of had to apologize to Danny Masterson. But then she said also it happened a second time where she supposedly may have left something at his house and went back there and he offered her a drink. The drink, she said she was it drugged her. She got Cosby, moved
Yep.
around and up. I mean, long story short, he raped her again. Now, my issue with that is why the fuck did you go back for the second time? Is this is deeper. It's Scientology, dude. Is that the reason she went back the second time? Did she really believe she was wrong?
right, yeah, like she you typically wouldn't see a woman who would go through a situation, put herself back in that situation, and then be comfortable enough to be alone with said person and accept their favor again in the form of a drink or something like that.
Hmm.
That'd be a little too familiar, bruh. If you already done crossed the boundary, for me to really
Exactly.
feel like I should go through that, unless, to your point, there is some sort of conditioning by Scientology that would allow for you to think it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it because, to your point, I'm putting this star on this pedestal, and I know I can't say anything about them, him doing or treating me in any type of particular way. I don't have the right to stand up in my own faith. So yeah, that is deep. That is damn deep. See, Mello,
I
you
mean,
got anything on
So what?
that? I said, did you have anything?
I was just watching the game. My bad.
All right, hey, the game. What's the score?
I'm trying to do both. I mean, like I said, that whole thing is just wild for how long it took for this to happen. And then
Yeah.
you got to look at like Look, look what he got. 30 years. And how old is he now?
Uh,
Right.
47 or something.
And then
No,
they get
no,
probably
I think so,
He
47.
close to. Let's just say he close to 50. You done threw your life away, basically.
Yeah.
Like your life is done. Like I mean, you wasn't doing nothing anyway, because you basically like this. Hollywood basically disowned him when they knew these allegations were coming up on him. Like you wasn't doing nothing. Now this on top, like, was it worth it? Put it like that. Was those 2 times of break worth it?
I don't even
Yeah.
know. I don't think he was concerned about was it worth it. It was just, hey, he was put on a pedestal where he thought he wasn't gonna get caught. Like if you
Yeah,
Yeah.
are in
even
this,
that. Like if you even if you got a feeling you ain't gonna get caught, was it worth taking that risk? You know what I mean? It's like one of
So,
them things. Like it was just it was stupid. And then another thing that make it crazy is that like they was quick as hell to put Cosby in jail.
true.
They was quick as
I'm
hell to put
not,
Cosby
I
in
ain't gonna
jail.
say,
Like,
I ain't gonna say quick.
Yeah,
I
he
ain't gonna
still,
say quick. That shit went on
no,
for
I
a
know.
while. That shit
yeah.
went
Yeah,
on.
Hey,
but look what they
But,
needed though. But like with
but
this
also,
was going on longer.
hey, guess what Bill Cosby didn't have? Scientology. He wasn't in the science. That's what I'm saying. It's deeper than just that.
so,
You had
Mhm.
so,
and also those crimes weren't reported to the police. They reported to the Church of Scientology.
right.
Yeah,
Let me
true.
press a point then. And shout out to Biggie Bag Johnny. Thank you for tuning in, my brother, and showing the love. I'll press that. Do you think that it's possible that due to the decline in his star status is the only reason why it really got out? Because if he was still a prominent star, he would still be under the protection of Scientology.
Well, it depends. If he, I think even if he was a star and he was just, got away with these two, and then continuously, they would have to sit there like, we got to let you get caught. You got to take the fall. You know what I
I,
mean?
I I really don't because it's a stain on Scientology. I don't think they would have. It's a
Hmm.
stain on Scientology. I think they would have kept it quiet. Like I think it got leaked out, and that's why they had to kind of wash their hands of it. Like, yeah, it's out there now, bro. You got to deal with this on your own.
Why do you think Tom Cruise keeps doing Mission Impossible? He is allegedly raping Mexican midgets. So he has to make sure that
I got to
MI10
be
comes
midget.
out,
I got to be
MI12
midget.
comes out. Hey, so I gotta stay a star, bro. Gotta stay a star. Like I
Fair
go put that. I'm not going. Hey, I'm not gonna put that risky business on risky business, but it's risky business. If you get what I'm
Oh,
saying.
Wow, he said risky business.
okay.
All right.
Okay.
So you saying he was Top Gun that night?
Top Gun, man, Maverick, shoot him, boom, boom,
Oh
like.
shit! It,
Oh,
it was
but
days.
Yeah.
It was Days of Thunders. Then okay, I got you.
the
All right.
Scientology thing is Scientology thing is scary that they have an actual rule that you cannot report a crime to the authorities. You have to report it to the church first, and then they'll handle it how they see fit.
Mhm.
That's scary, man. That's
Everything
scary.
is kept within.
Mhm.
I mean, that's the way a lot of religions kind of would
Hmm.
prefer it to be. So that way, they can deal with it from a
In-house perspective.
reputational risk. And as you know, well, that's truly what it is. I mean, any company organization would do something similar to keep whatever issues they have in house
Facts.
before, so that way they can create the narrative of their social space that they need to clear up. All right, we
Piggybacking,
messed up
piggybacking
something.
off that, piggybacking off that. If you guys watch Painkillers, that makes me think of the Sacklers. That's what they did. They wanted to keep their name up there, but in the same time, they were the developers of OxyContin, which killed how many people? But not even
Yeah,
them. From that documentary or that miniseries, I did not know the Nobel Peace Prize, the guy who developed the Nobel Peace Prize, actually invented dynamite. Did you guys know that?
no, I
No
wasn't
idea.
aware.
So the reason he developed the Nobel Peace Prize, this is piggybacking on E's point, where your name means fucking everything. He invented dynamite. His brother passed away. They wrote an obituary about his brother as him, but they were calling him the Merchant of Death. And he saw that obituary calling him the merchant of death and decided, oh shit, this is how I'm going to be remembered. So he decided to say, no, I'm going to take all my money and everything I've been doing and develop the Nobel Peace Prize. So the Nobel Peace Prize was developed by the man who was the cause of all, well, not the cause, but helped provide us with weapons, war, and dynamite and gunpowder and shit. That is some wild shit, E, because you hit it on the head where it's about your name. And history
Right.
will
Yeah.
remember your
It is. It's always going to be about your name. It's always going to be
About your
about the
legacy.
legacy and what you're associated with. So yeah, you're
Hmm.
right. All right. So I know. All right, we got a couple other topics, and I know that we could go on to that one. And that while it's that grape is a sixth subject, I know we want to switch over to a more somber subject. And for tomorrow, guys, the 9/11, like man, the first time in my life we've actually seen uh, a, a united America because of something that was so traumatic and impactful, symbolic. Like 9/11 had repercussions for many years.
Hmm.
I want to go back to 9/11 and I want to hear your guys' thoughts on it and where you were at the time. We'll
name.
start. We'll start with Chef.
All right.
Um. Yeah. That day, I actually had a doctor's appointment. So I didn't go to school that day. So I get to the doctor's, and the news is on, and I think I saw the first plane. Uh, the second plane hit the tower. Yeah, and it was kind of just like, what is going on? Like, this is kind of crazy. Like, I actually thought I was watching a movie at first. But yeah, no, it was actually real. And yeah, it's crazy that for the first time in our lives, we've seen war brought to our doorstep.
Yep, you're right.
Hmm.
You're right. So, see, Mello, I'm gonna check in with you. So, what are your thoughts, and where were you at 9/11?
Ooh, my
Give
thoughts. It
the
was hard to
context,
believe that this
everybody.
was going on. Like, really, it was hard to believe something like that was going on. Like, I thought it was a movie.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You're not paying attention. Like, I'm in class and we in class clowning. The next thing you know, the teacher just started gasping. You know what I mean? And I was at chauffeur, in fact, and we didn't do nothing the whole day. All we did was just watch the news. And the next thing you know, we get on the bus, go back to Rand, watch the news again. That was just the whole day of 9/11, and you had to think like Rome said, this is the first time war was thrown at our footsteps. Like, people was actually starting with us. They was bold enough to start with us, America. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that was crazy year. I would say 9/11. That's history. We could say we
yeah.
were part of history, the bad part of history. But some people can sit there and say, like, during the Kennedy, Martin Luther King, they were part of. We can say we were part of that. It's just crazy that all the lives that was lost. You know what I mean? Like, it goes to show you just how honestly, like, nations been wanting, or certain nations been wanting to do that to us for a long time.
Yeah.
They've been wanting to strike fear in our hearts for a long time, and I'm not gonna lie, that made everybody start thinking.
They brought us all together on one accord. It woke a lot of people
Hmm.
up to the possibility that you could be just on your way to work one day and the war can take you out too. You know.
And think about it real quick. Think about other countries that go through that constantly.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and I was going to touch on that too, but I wanted to get shooters'
Oh yeah,
thoughts
go ahead.
on it and where you were at the time.
Set the scene, 2001, September 11th. 9 something a.m. I was in history class. Matter of fact, history class when history was happening. Um, yeah, it was quite unbelievable. So my mind started racing when the Pentagon was hit because at the time my grandfather
Forgot about that.
worked in the Pentagon here or there, so my mind went to being afraid for his life. So it was
Mhm.
a whole different aspect of fear for me in where I was thinking about it, but also it was the fact it was once you let it all sit in, you think about as BJ was saying, as Mello was saying, us being attacked on our home soil for the first time since Pearl Harbor was some of the most insane shit that we've ever seen. But it was able for me to put myself in the foot in the shoes of somebody who
Mhm.
gets a bomb dropped on their head when they're eating dinner at their table.
Yeah.
And like Mello said, countries have been wanting to probably even do that to us for years. And it makes you sit back and think, are we really the hero that we paint ourselves to be? That's
Definitely
that
not.
that's what propaganda is. And is it wrong for us to promote our propaganda to say we're the hero? No, but in other countries, man, they hate us. They say, hey, man, we're arrogant. We come there, we take over, we force things on them that they don't want.
Hmm.
So it was an eye opener, but at the time, I felt the heart and I felt the sadness of the whole country, especially the school that I was going to. At the time, I had switched schools and I wasn't going anymore to a predominantly black school where our views on government at a predominantly black school are completely fucking different than a predominantly white school. And I was at a predominantly white school where, guess what? Our colors are red, white, and blue. Our school is called the Falcons. So that shit hit hard there. And I seen the patriotism of America in the teachers there, the students there, the police officers there. I think we were let out of school early, honestly. And we didn't have to go to school the next day because of the school that we go to. And that was I didn't notice that at the time. I was just like, wow, this shit is crazy. But as an adult, seeing the difference in that school system that I was in at the time and the one that I came from is even insane. So that's my some of my thoughts on
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, no, and you're right. So but I also want to touch on the point of how everybody said that war was here, and we could really associate how other countries feel because they deal with more war, a lot more closely. But well, for me, um, I was out of school. I actually worked in a school at the time at a special needs school, elementary school, and I remember seeing it and having to kind of like deal with trauma and grief out of children because of this, and seeing how they were impacted by seeing these images of America on fire. In their mind, like they're seeing these buildings smoking, people running and crying, and covered in soot and stuff, and like it was a real traumatic image for me too as an adult, but those kids, they were really impacted, you know. So, all right. So, but I do want to get into that. Like, do you think that we as Americans take for granted that war is not here?
it. Hundred
Yeah, I
percent,
think so.
100%.
Oh yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I mean, it's really a simple concept. Like, we battle, and I also think, like, in a sense, that's the reason why we as a country are more prone to violence internally, because we only deal with it as entertainment, unless it's self-protection. We
Hard.
only deal with
It's going
entertainment.
back off what you were saying, like internally, it's like it's wars in the streets. Like here, we
Yeah,
think about it, it's like wars and hoods, wars and that little civil wars, I would say, in America, in the black community. You know what I mean? Just like what's going on now in the city. So many people getting killed now. It's crazy.
yeah,
So it's not like
yeah.
we're not. You know, I think about it, it's not that we're not used to war. It's not
No,
that
no,
we're
no.
not used
See,
to war
we
from
can't.
other countries.
We can't compare. We can't compare the domestic structure that we have in our
Mm,
country that
hmm
allows for us to be able to go and buy a gun at free will and sell drugs, narcotics, and make these decisions that put us into
Yeah.
war zone type situations as the same as a country where their houses are literally being bombed and
Oh yeah,
shelled
yeah.
and their schools are being destroyed and their water sources are being destroyed, like and their way of life is destroyed because of
exactly.
where they
Yeah, I
live.
get you, but I would say I would go
And,
back and
and,
and say we never been on that type of violence like what other countries go through. We
and
have
you can't get
No,
it twisted. No, you can't get it twisted with. Don't think that they don't have violence in their country against each other, man. They shit way worse than ours. It's
oh yeah, I
poverty.
know.
Oh yeah.
Poverty creates violence more than anything, dude. The fact that
I
they're
agree.
poor and my stomach is touching my back, yeah, I'm gonna kill you for a sandwich, bro. That's
Oh yeah.
that's just it is. Like they that makes it. That's why they're willing to do what it takes to make their point against us at some point, sometimes
Right.
too.
I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. And then I would think that poverty is sometimes the precipitating factor of why people will have uh, gray areas in their morals. So yeah, I mean, I can see that, but I definitely think that because for us as Americans, we get to sleep under roofs and have electricity and have access to water and from each coast, from coast to coast, we can drive wherever we want to go and walk into a restaurant and eat and not have to worry about militia or soldiers or tanks or you know what I'm saying? Like
Oh yeah,
we don't
I
have
know what
to
you mean
deal
by that.
with the threat of true war in our day to day lives. So when we reflect on looking at 9/11 and how it impacted us, do you think that we don't? Do you guys think that we have an opportunity to become wiser to war ourselves and not be so American centric? Because realizing that we do what we just experienced, that trauma of feeling like, oh man, we got bombed and we saw America on fire and that was messed up. The war was here. We got boots on ground almost damn near all over the world.
We do.
Exactly.
So
Hmm.
we send our soldiers places for to war. We don't war here. So I really think that there's a disconnect and we have an opportunity when we go through certain things. There's been plenty of terror attacks and things like that where we've lost people. But like when we think of 9/11 and we think about we lost somewhere in the range of like 900 people,
I think
like
more than
in
that.
like I believe it was somewhere in that range, um, like all together or something like that between the Pentagon, and where it was Pentagon, Pennsylvania, and New York, right?
Hmm.
Um, and when we think about that, how we felt there, it doesn't transfer because we can easily now see 9/11 as entertainment in history. Now we can watch shows and stuff on it and look at a memorial and all of those things and kind of
Hmm.
move past the feeling of the threat of war. What is something that you take away from the experience of 9/11? And I'll go to you first, D Mello.
I would say just what I take away is just like what I said earlier. Is just I put it like this: how many other countries want to do that or planning to do something like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
because you got to think about it. It situation like that made us look weak in other
Yeah.
countries' eyes, real weak. So then they feel anybody else can do something like that.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like one of those things that happen, and it's horrible, but it's like also just a plan for it.
Yeah.
It's one of
Yeah.
those things you got to be ready for it. You don't know when it's gonna happen, so you just have to be prepared. And it's and you know what else? It's scary. Like you said, it's scary to just how something like that was infiltrated so fast, so soon.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Just
Because real quick, because this is scary. But what if it happened if something happened to you in a situation?
right. You're playing it hijacked and flown into a
Yeah,
damn.
yeah. You ain't even got to be a plane. You could be on a bus ride.
Yeah, you're right. Bus. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Uber. Yeah.
Yeah, playing
Yeah.
loud music.
Yeah. All right. So Rome, I'm gonna come to you. What is something you took away from your experience in understanding 9/11?
Um, so I'm gonna be the bad guy here,
Be the bad guy.
and 9/11 was the first time white people felt that type of pain because it's not like they didn't have 9/11 uh almost what 100 years ago now, 1921 Tulsa. Did they not fly over planes and drop dynamite on Tulsa and destroy all of Black Wall Street?
This is true.
So that was the first time they felt hopeless. That wasn't our first time feeling hopeless. It would almost be like me saying today, all buildings matter. That would be a very hot take, right? So
Yeah.
that's kind of my take on it. It was it a sad event that happened? Yes. Do I wish it on anybody? No. Do I wish it, never happened? Yes. But it wasn't this country's first airborne terrorist attack. This country's first airborne terrorist attack was brought on this country by this country. We just don't talk about it in that sense because it only happened to brown people.
No, I mean, yeah, and you're right. There has been many historical, unreported, un, unsubstantiated attacks on Americans by Americans. You're right. There's whole cities that have been flooded and just wiped away. So I mean, I definitely can agree that there's some comparison to some of the black experience versus how um, you know white people were impacted behind 9/11. I definitely can agree with that with you. Shooter, I want to go to you. Last one on it, and I want to hear what was something you took away from 9/11.
Um, Basically, what I took away from 9/11, especially as I got older and started seeing the world different as an adult, was our arrogance was checked, and we had to become more humble and understand, yo, I can get touched too. But I also learned, which everybody else learned, hey, don't fuck with us because as E said, we are everywhere. So we can always touch you and there's reach, and we have connections with countries to where I don't think anybody's ever gonna turn on us. But these factions who do have hate for us, we do have to be wary that they can get to us and they can't touch us. That's what I took from it. Yes, is going to the airport and going through TSA annoying as hell? Hell yeah, it's annoying. But we should have been like that. That precaution should have been happening. Why should somebody just be able to get on a plane without being metal detector wand and all that stuff? Some of the precautions that we weren't taking, we need to take. And there's even more that's need to be done. But I took from it that we got checked on our arrogance to know, hey man, people don't like us in certain places, and we need to be able to see that there is a threat out there. It was a sad situation. I am sad that it happened. I do hate the conspiracy theorists who say it doesn't happen because you know how immense of a cover up that would have to be. And but from the most part, what I took from it was this feeling of damn, we got attacked at home. We have to be more careful and not be as arrogant to feel like we can't be.
Yeah, nah, I'm with that. For me, what I took away from it was that if we as a country actually had a common enemy, we had no problem coming together.
Mm.
Like it was screwed ISIS and Al Qaeda and all of the country was saying that. And then you have some pockets of people going like, but here's their story. But there's always gonna be those people. But that was the biggest thing for me. Like, we didn't really have a problem when it was us versus another country for the first time in my life experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, these people over here breeding terrorists. Like, yo, I ain't got no problem going to war with them. Like, I don't, because they bombing and killing civilians here. Like, so yeah, so that was my view. All right, sweet. I want to go into our next segment, and that was the toxic tweets. We got some toxic tweets that we was going to look at and get some reactions and get thoughts on. So, Rome, I'm gonna kick it over to you, and let's look at some toxic tweets, brother.
All right, so I'm gonna read y'all these, and y'all give me y'all reactions. All right. So let's go with something simple first. Cheating on me is easy. Trying to stop your car without a brake line isn't.
Okay. Okay. Let's hear that one back.
Cheating on me is easy. Trying to stop your car with no brake lines isn't.
Yeah. If your person cheat on you and you that you intentionally cut their brake line, that's premeditated. Like they can kill somebody outside of killing themselves.
That's wild.
Yeah, you know what? Let's not be a dick to other people because of what my dick did. Okay, there we go. That's my thought on that. What's up, Siobhan? How you doing? All right. What you got for that, Snella?
I'm just gonna say we're just gonna whoever that we're just gonna end this right now and today.
Yeah.
Because I like my life.
Done.
And if it's that easy for me to do what I got to do, and then you want me to try to do that impossible, yeah, we're just gonna stop now.
Yeah.
We're just gonna stop now.
Oh man, I would just say, damn, check your brake lines, man, before you get in the car. Cheating's gonna happen. Cheating's gonna happen.
Oh,
wow. All right. We also have roses are red, violets are blue. Your 2 inches felt like 6 because I had feelings for you.
Yo.
Oh wow.
You know what? Whoever tweeted that, she just boosted her little man's confidence up. Her man got some confidence now.
You mean literally?
Right.
That's love right there. That is love, or a fat wallet.
So or is she
hey shooter, love for the fat wallet.
Is she actually encapsulating how women really feel about penises? Where she's feeling like put the D battery away. Oh my god. Back to the D battery.
He couldn't wait for that.
Back to the D battery.
He couldn't wait for that.
Conversation.
He
But
couldn't wait
now
for that.
I would say, like, does that not seem to encapsulate the thing that women will be like? It's not about the size of the thing; it's about the motion in the ocean. So,
Nah,
hey, if
nah.
the man,
Hold on.
if she's taking two and turning it into six
Listen,
because her feelings,
listen. Let him forget one anniversary. That's all I'm gonna say. Let him forget one anniversary.
I mean,
You already know he coming up short in the argument. That's all I'm
well,
saying.
yeah, you right, you right, you right. All
That's
right, what's the
love.
next one?
That's
All
love,
right.
man.
All right. Never trust a girl that needs glasses but doesn't wear them. She'll never see the issues.
Mm.
That's true.
That's
That's just wisdom. I don't. Yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing toxic about that. There's
okay.
nothing toxic. And now you know what? You know what? That's funny. I agree with that. Just
That's
like, just like I agree with the same notion of, you know, you don't want to rock with a woman who always loses the important shit. You know what I'm saying? Because then nothing is going to be important. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I get that, and I like that.
that was
That's not.
fire.
Yeah, why do you think I gave it the fist? That right on fist.
Yeah,
That-
that's not toxic at
that's
all.
toxic.
Yeah,
Nothing
I know.
toxic about
Circle
that.
that one. Yeah, circle that one.
Yeah, I need to. Yeah,
Nothing
that's
toxic about that one.
like toxic,
All right.
right?
All
What's
right.
the next?
I got two more.
All right, go
All
for it.
right.
I can't do breakups. 5 minutes later, I'm texting back like, "So you never loved me."
Yeah, that's toxic. Hey, that's toxic. That
He
is.
trying. Whoever that is, they trying to get their way back in.
So you
Uh,
never loved me, is what you're telling me.
So you already know, y'all. We started on this little pre show. Yeah, no, don't hit me with your toxic take me back shit. Like that's terrible. No, don't be trying to get at me.
I just went past the Axe body wash and thinking everybody.
It reminded me of you. Like, nah, man, I don't need none of your.
I walked
No,
past that one restaurant we went on a date on, and I sat in the same exact seat we sat in, and all I could think was just, how could you do me like this?
right? How could you do me like this? No. Oh hell no. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. No. Don't
All right.
text. Don't text me back after we done broke up and say, you never loved me. I mean, 'cause my response back to that is like, you're right.
Yeah, that's
Never.
All right. Last one.
that's toxic as hell, bro.
Last one. For all the cheaters out there, FaceTime hits different when you're out cheating. Bruh. Bruh. Do you know how scary that would be?
Yeah.
FaceTime you.
What do you do in that situation? What do you do in that situation?
I mean, hey,
Yo, you got on
I don't have an
Timberlands.
iPhone.
You running. You in Timberlands running like you saying boat to try to get to a safe space.
Hit the
Ain't no
bathroom.
safe space.
Oh, I gotta use the bathroom.
See, again, that's what happened. You know what, Siobhan? You know what? Maybe you need to have me on the comfy couch so you can therapize me. But it's okay. Nah, man. Nah, man. Nah.
I mean, listen, that is what the butterflies that just go through your stomach. You know what you do? You turn your phone off and you be like, "Yo, man, I was there, I ain't had no signal until you done doing what you're doing."
Don't
Just tell them you got Verizon.
don't say that you fell asleep at your boy's crib last night.
No, that's the worst, man.
Listen,
especially at a
Listen,
certain age. Because if you a certain age and you fall asleep at your boy house, I'm thinking you a booty boy. I'm thinking you Fleece Johnson.
you
He
stupid.
booty, he butt.
You stupid.
But, bro,
No, no, no.
I ain't fall asleep at nobody's house, bro. I'm too old for that.
So, well, first and foremost, I don't have an iPhone, so I don't have to worry about FaceTime. Like that's not even the thing.
Nigga, that's why they
She's
got
not.
Facebook. They got Facebook
Yeah.
Messenger. They got
Hey, you know what? I'll answer those Facebook Messenger calls half the time or anything. So,
oh, and that's what you gonna get your girl with. Oh, you ain't gonna answer my Facebook Messenger.
no, hold on. You think I got notifications?
You talking to your
You think I
girl?
got notifications turned on like that? You don't know how your phone works? Hell no.
Oh, you got the your green bubble off, huh?
Off.
But listen, but she don't care. She like a chick who named her son after herself. Sean Malone. I'm calling you no matter what.
I got 3 phones, baby. Which one you call?
You got a girl like Sexy Red who don't matter no matter what she blowing down on you, bro.
Wow.
Baby, I got
Man.
3 phones. Which one you call?
Yeah. They got Instagram Messenger, they got Snapchat Messenger, FaceTime on.
They ain't all on the same phones. One phone got one thing, the other phone got something else, the other phone got something else. Hey, which phone did you call?
You get
She calling all
bounty,
three. She gonna call all
bounty.
three.
Yeah, no, I don't give out all 3. No, nobody gets all 3. That's how you lose. If I
See,
give you all 3, you don't lost.
you talk. You now you hiding stuff. What you do
I
with
ain't got,
that?
nothing, I ain't got nothing to hide.
When you
I
say shit,
ain't
you
got
don't
nothing to hide because every woman I talk to, know I got 3 phones. That I tell them what they for and everything, but they get one number. So I mean, what's the problem?
I mean, he being honest, so hey, you
Yeah,
good.
sure, I got 3 phones.
That's because this man is Batman. That's why.
I ain't no damn Batman. All right. So, hey, we want to jump into our last segment. So, Shooter, we're gonna jump into valid or not. I'm gonna kick it over to my man Shooter.
All right, valid or not this week, man. Here we go. We always want to talk about how the black consumer wants a discount or the hookup from black business owners, but it gets quiet when it's time to talk about the business owner doing bad business, expecting you to be patient or allow more time. They already have your money. Is it the price? Is the price, or is it if you can just work with me, I'm gonna get it done? Can it be both? So we gonna go, and we've talked about this before, but are you willing to wait for a product if the quality is right and the turnaround might not be as fast because they are a mom and pop shop business? Or does the quality matter? What do you guys think about that? Or should you get the hookup?
Um, I don't give out the hookup to nobody. I don't care because there's no such thing. It's called business. There's no feelings or friends or family in business. See all those F's you don't give in business. Yeah, and the other one is you don't give out these other 2 is free finances. So you're not going to be handing out your product to people who don't support your dream. So, in my opinion, any of your friends or any of your family members that want a discount from you when you are an entrepreneur, they don't respect your business because they'll go pay full price for that new iPhone 20,000. They'll go pay full price for all of those other things, but then when it comes to your products and your services, you will be you won't get requested for a discount or a hookup. No, I need my coins the same way that you give Jeff Bezos his coins. I need my coins the same way you give Apple their coins. I need my coins the same way Walmart get their coins. So no, There's no discounts. The price is what it is.
Do you think it's reasonable for a startup company to be like, yo, it takes me a little bit more time?
Yeah,
I agree with that.
yeah. Like you're supposed to be. Well, it's required for you to be transparent in your business practice. So if you come and you buy something from me, it's my responsibility to give you a printed receipt, give you tracking if I'm shipping it to you, and disclose the window of time that that product is supposed to come to you before you make the purchase. So that way you're clear in your decision when you're making, making a transaction. Because if not, let's say that you went somewhere and you bought something and you didn't know until after you bought it that you couldn't get it for 7 days. They locked you in when you had the opportunity to go somewhere else and get it that day. So that's a bad business practice. They would never be able to do it. You'd have to file a chargeback or dispute with your bank, all these things, blah blah, like, and stuff to get it resolved. But ideally, no, that don't make no sense.
See Mello, thoughts on that? Hey, what up, Mal?
What up, Big Dog?
That's a touchy situation because me, truthfully, if it's a startup business and they got their prices, I'm gonna pay, especially if I want to support. You know what I mean? Like you gotta respect the hustle. And I've just never been the type of person to just really be, man, hook me up. You know, like for the hookup. That's your choice to make. If you want to cut me a deal or something, that's your choice. But if these are your prices, these are your prices. I just hope the quality is good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm gonna pay that much, whatever you're saying to help your business get started, is the merchandise worth it? That's just kind of like on a Martin. You think you're getting the Whitney Houston shirt, but it's a Whitty Hugh.
Woody Hutton.
Yeah,
Woody
Woody Hutton. Yeah, something like that. I'd have paid $20 for this shit. Are you serious? So it's one of the things. I say that's a touchy situation because, like I said, if you want to patronize, you want to patronize, but you want to make sure you're getting the right deal. But if they want to hook you up, that's their choice. I can't just go in there. Hey, don't just be a nigga, be my nigga. Hook me up, give me. You know what I mean?
Hey, bro. Hey, I bought one of them damn Woody Huttons. I bought one of them damn Woody Huttons. I bought a Woody Hutton. God damn it. Bro, man got me too, bro.
The Woody Huttons. Woody Huttons shirt.
Listen, you know, you already know how bro man got caught. Somebody hit him with the elbow. That was me when I saw him. I had the Woody Hutton shirt. He got caught doing the soul Bob. You know what I mean? Nah. All right. So if you're a startup business, let's say you're a startup restaurant. I'm gonna need your food to be on time. I'm gonna need your service to be amazing. I'm going to pay full price. Please don't hit me with that C Staples treatment. And if I call in an order, you don't have my food ready when I get there. You don't even start making it till I show up because I'm never coming back.
Yeah.
But no. If you're a first time food, listen. I'll give critiques. I'll tell you, hey, listen, this is what you're doing. It's great. Hey, this meal I would probably do something else with it or take it off the menu because it's not working for y'all. But no, like I want to see, especially new black businesses. I want to see them thrive and I want to see them do well. And I hope that they are okay taking criticism and praise for the things they do good and bad. But yeah, like don't hit me with that like, oh, well, you know, we knew, so this taking a while and it's at a restaurant. Like, no, you knew like you were gonna have customers today, right? Okay, so nobody prepped anything good. I can see this business is going to be trash right now. Like
Yeah.
y'all are not doing what y'all supposed to be doing.
So I'll say that a lot of times, and I've been fortunate enough to work for big companies and implement processes and procedures for them. And you're right, Denise. It is about
I'll
consistency,
say, yep,
but
that's a good thing.
getting to consistency when you're a small company is really hard because
That's where I
documenting
need to get.
and being as detailed as you need to be to understand your business operation is not something that people learn. It's not like you can go to business school, business management school, all of these things, and they're going to teach you all of these terms, right? Until you actually start a business and apply those concepts to your business and really visualize that, put the pen to paper, it's really hard to be consistent. It's really hard to execute the way that you just described, Rome out the gate. A lot of times getting the right people to the door just to be able to open up is hard. Like I know me and you've had conversations about how hard it is to staff sometimes.
Mhm.
Getting the right people in and then having the right documents and training materials for people to be able to utilize to make sure that they actually can execute the job well, the way that you want it to. You know what I'm saying? The way that it can be consistent, the way that you can keep your restaurant or business operating the way that you want it to. It's not as simple all the time as people think. You know what I'm saying? And then behind business is regulation.
Mm.
Behind all business is governance and regulation. Because
Mhm.
without the oversight of governance and regulation, a business can do whatever they want. And there is no place for the consumer if the business can do whatever they want and there's no regulation or governance to make sure that you got that they gotta treat you a certain way. So all of the stuff that we're looking for in these businesses is saying like, all right, cool, I give them this, I give them that, price and this. Like, yeah, that's cool. But all of that can be wiped away from the moment that you won't even show me the proper respect. You want to pay full price for something.
So we got more price to the price, but Mount, we gonna get your feelings on this when we done with this. But I so far as what we got, what two price, two prices the price, one in the middle. But
That's
I'm agreed. Three prices the price because I'm with prices the price as
my
well.
price is my price. Yesterday's price is not today's price. But get the shit now. My price is my price. I'm not gonna overcharge you. I'm gonna give you a nice price. You can fuck with it or not. If you don't buy it, somebody else is. Never mind. But you know how it should be.
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
Good dope. Good dope still is dope.
even if you overcharge, listen, even if you overcharge them, your price is your price. They
Yeah.
Gucci
I feel like
are
if
they
you
over?
got a good product, if you got a good product, good dope still itself. You ain't got to. You know what I'm saying? You put a price that whatever your price that you put. If the people want it, they're gonna buy it, regardless of what that price is.
Yeah,
People
you're
still
right.
buy people still buy Foster's breakfast, don't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. So that shit nasty.
I
Yeah.
want to buy iceberg when they bring iceberg back out. That's what I want. A Fubu.
Hey, yo, you remember the icebergs that had the Looney Tunes joints? Like, yeah,
Man, what?
hey, those was
Man,
fine. Those was
All we all we need is Drake to wear it, and it's cool.
true.
That's all that matters. This dude walking around with Afro puffs and Fubu shirts. Everybody's like, "Yeah, I want my Fubu jersey back." So,
Terrible.
but it seems like we all agree that the price is the price, and if you're not satisfied with it, don't go back. But me personally, I might go back a second time because you know what, the first time might have been a bad experience because you're on to something where you say it takes time to become mom and pop hamburger store to McDonald's. You have to have things that are put in place, systems that are put in place. So yeah, it is cool to have patience with somebody who's just starting because it'll in the long run it might pay off. The price is the price as long as the quality is great. I agree with that.
Nah, and
So
you said that perfectly. Good job. I like that. All right, so I think it's valid. It's valid. The price is valid.
valid,
All right.
valid, valid.
All right. So with that, I know we're gonna go ahead and go into our final thoughts. Go around, hear how everybody's feeling. Go ahead and do the tick and tie. Do the plug for all of our shows we got. I'll kick it off and just go check me out tomorrow. Easy Monday Motivation, 8 o'clock. Me and my man CT got a great episode for you. And that's my final thoughts. I'm kicking over to Mount since I know you got to come in late.
I ain't got no final thoughts. Dallas Cowboys versus everybody.
Here it is. Okay. All right. Mello, we coming over to you.
Going back to earlier, you really need to investigate that Scientology shit. This all what they able to get away with. That shit really need to be investigated. It's like what Shooter said. It's deeper than what we know.
Yeah, no, you're right.
It's deeper than what we know. And 9/11. You know what? You think about it. We was part of two history. 9/11 and then the COVID situation. So that's two things in the dark, and that affected the world. You know what I'm saying? But like as we grow and tell our grandkids or kids around the neighborhood, man, I remember what I was doing 9/11. I remember when the whole world basically shut down with COVID. So it's crazy that we can talk about. Remember how our grandparents or our parents used to talk about certain things? Now it's our turn to experience that and share it. Because who knows what's going to happen after us? So and check your brake lines. If cheating is that easy, just check your brake lines.
Check your brake lines.
Check your brake lines, and that's about it. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
All right. My final thoughts are going to go to not once again. Let's talk about maybe possibly the attack on black women, the way they did it to black men with hip hop. And I'm going with Sexy Red. Sexy Red, Sukiana, Ice Spice. There's a few other ones, but they are becoming the face of what black women are. The same way that black men were destroyed by gangster rap, and they put the perception that, hey man, you're a gangster, you tow pistols, you sell drugs. Black women, please watch yourself by championing Miss My Booty Hole Brown, Miss Krishan Rock, who named her child Krishan Rock Malone, Sukiano, who say her vagina stink. Please, please, ladies, watch, because pretty soon the tables will turn and they will be considering you to be like those women. That's my final thoughts.
All right.
Okay?
All right. And we're gonna go to you, Chef Ron. Go ahead and do the plugs and take us home.
All right. I do want to say congratulations to Coco for winning the U.S. Women's Open.
Yes.
Congratulations. That's piggybacking off of what Shooter just said. That's somebody black women should aspire to.
Facts.
All right. So, I do want to say Mondays, Easy Monday Motivation, 8 o'clock. Tune in. Tuesday, the first show for Siobhan Blocker, Perry, The Comfy Couch at 7 p.m. Wednesday,
F your couch.
Wednesday, we got Food Talk, the Foodcast at 8 p.m. Thursday, come in and get these laughs, just clowning with Malk and DJ. And then Friday or Saturday, we're working on something right now. We got something good for all the blurs out there. If you like gaming, if you like anime, if you like just Black Nerd Nation, we got something for you coming. Stay tuned.
Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow us on YouTube, Twitch, as well here on Facebook, wherever you get your podcast materials. You'll see us being guests on other people's shows as well. So, as always, a special shout out to my homeboy, Rome the Chef, for engineering and doing the programming. Thank you to all of the fellas for all the work that they do. And let's go ahead and have a wonderful week. Peace out. Until the next episode.
Peace.
Right.